First, you must believe. That concept is time-tested and battle-proven in many of life's arenas. It's a poignant statement, simple and brief enough for t-shirts, buttons, and caps. For Robstown, Texas, and its high school baseball program, under legendary coach Steve Castro, those 4 words became the rallying cry for meeting and conquering challenges on the way to unprecedented success. First, you must believe. Not a mission statement of purpose, but a vision conveyed by Robstown's native son and servant, the man who introduced youth football to the community while working for the Parks and Recreation Department. And if you were one of the hundreds of aspiring ball players at Robstown High, invited on a mission with Coach Castro, you had an opportunity to understand his vision applied to more than earning a starting position, winning a district championship, or making a deep playoff run. It applied to life. Steve Castro, who was married to his wife Phyllis for 41 years, and a devoted father to Steve Jr., Felicia, and Stacy, was a mentor to young people, athletes and non-athletes, a decades-long U.S. and world history teacher, and a devout member of the Catholic faith. He sometimes agonized over kids from the distant past that he couldn't reach.
He always talked to me about the players that got away that he couldn't help. He was always thinking about them and always trying to get back in touch with them, trying to help them out. I saw it up close and personally, the way he treated kids, the way he wanted kids to succeed is about winning in life, not winning in baseball. He was always talking about that.
But Coach Castro will always be synonymous with winning baseball, both as a head coach of the Cotton Pickers and a state championship assistant at John Paul II. His accomplishments are staggering. 705 wins in a 989-game Robstown career over 28 seasons from 1983 through 2010. Back-to-back Class 4A state championships in 1991 and 1992. 5 trips and 6 years to Austin for the state tournament between 1987 and 1992. 14 district titles, 24 total playoff appearances, 2014 election to the Texas High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. For Coach Castro, it all began with his players developing a belief in themselves and their team at practices, which were designed to be highly competitive and fun.
You still do your best all the time. You know, he strived for perfection. He said, if it's hard to be perfect. No one is perfect, but if you practice every day and you try to be perfect, you're gonna be pretty damn good. He said, competition will always make you better. So don't be scared of competition. Just, he goes, bow up to it, Just, it'll bring the best out of you. The guy was a very disciplined man, but he was a lot of fun too. And he had a joke inside, but once he put that aside, he knew it was all business once he stepped on this field. But he made our practices very enjoyable. He was a great man to coach for. I tell you what, I learned so much from him.
Coaches and players from opposing schools knew the Cotton Pickers would fight to the finish, as Castro, a former Golden Gloves boxer, had done as a Robstown second baseman and wingback in the 1960s. From there, he went on to Pan American, playing on the Bronx 1971 College World Series team.
We knew when we were going to go play Robstown, they were going to save their best. Even if they had a district game the following day, they were going to save the best for us. And we knew that it was going to be an up battle, and that's why we played each other. We didn't shy away from each other because he had great teams and we had great teams at Moody High School, and it was only going to make us better, both teams.
No matter what the talent level he had, they were always well prepared and they always played the game right. We knew that they were going to be good every year, and we knew that if we were going to be able to beat them, we were going to have to play at our best every time we played.
Robstown's series with Moody and the district rival Cal Allen became must-see entertainment, as crowds in excess of 4,000 were common. In the 22 years from 1987 through 2008, either the Cotton Pickers or Wildcats won or shared every district championship.
They were definitely at the fore once everything kicked in, especially the rivalry with Cal Allen and the battles that those teams waged. That program had as much to do with the success of South Texas baseball as any of the other ones. They were always a factor in who would wind up in Austin. And
that was Coach Castro's aim. He wasn't bashful about reminding the Cotton Pickers the road to Austin comes through Robstown. 8 regional final appearances and 104 and 44 playoff record said so.
He had such a fierce, competitive nature, yet he was very compassionate. You could tell it with his players, especially after losses, which weren't very many, because he was so successful in Robstown. But he just had this way about him that was soothing. Yet if you talk to some of his competing coaches, They didn't get to see that very often because he was very fiery. He was a very fierce competitor.
That passion was fueled by his love for Robstown and his program. So what do long-standing members of the South Texas high school baseball community think at the mention of Steve Castro and his Robstown teams?
He was a great friend back since 1978 when I was an assistant at Moody, and he was an assistant at Robstown.
Their passion, their skill, their dedication, and just an overall fight. And I think that best describes Steve Castro.
He was an unbelievable coach, a great mentor, but he was an awesome person.
I think of Robstown baseball, first and foremost, and I think of a man that dedicated his life to that and to his family. He was a good person and a good man, and he loved Robstown baseball like no other.
Steve Castro had a lot of awards. You know, he won a lot of games, 2 state championships back to back. That's unheard of. But I really feel like the best thing that he ever accomplished was his relationship with his family, his relationship with his wife Phyllis, his kids, his relationship with God. It drew me towards it, and that's the one thing that I thank him and his wife Phyllis for, is the example they set forward for younger people.